the realness, realness. Got you stuck on the realness, realness.
Are you ready? You think you could tell us what to do? You think you could tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Bow to the masters. Break it down. Degenerate is a stupid fool. We just got tired of doing what you told us to do. That's the bricks, boy. Yeah, that's the bricks, little man. Break it down. Generation X. Oh man, good morning, Bushwick.
Can we get a live hand clap for that? Can we get a live hand clap? Yes, she made it. No, you made it. You made it. We just started. And we have a long show.
You guys just got a chance to see what usually goes on during the pre-show.
They told us to save it for live.
Maddie definitely told us why not save that for live. So you guys can all thank Maddie for that intro this morning.
Let's
clap it up for Maddie. Let's give Maddie a hand. But we are here on this Tuesday morning. Glad to be back with you guys. And how you doing, man? How you doing today? How's your morning going so far?
It was a decent morning. I think when the sun is shining, it's easier to not be distracted by the woes of life. So
it is. They're still there, but on a bright, sunny day, man. One thing I always say, man, we get to live it, man. We get to wake up, put our feet on the ground, and more than anything, man, we get to come in and do this every morning, man. So, it's easy to. I don't want to say it's easy to forget, but definitely keep those close to us, that have been going through it. But realize how grateful we should be and lucky for this. Not even lucky, but grateful for this opportunity we get to have every day, man. That's one thing I remind myself, man. Every day I get to wake up and do something I love. I was telling my boy last night, man. It's like we said it, man. It's like it's crazy. They know I love to sleep, and I was telling him because he asked me what's it like every morning having to do that. Now you work at night. I was like, yo, man, I love to sleep, man, but it's like. I don't even have a problem getting up, man. I was like, yo, the alarm goes off. I'm out of bed, man. I'm in there, man. I'm happy. I have energy in the morning.
I'm like the first one
out
of bed.
I was like, I think it's just that I'm waking up. I was like, I don't think I would wake up for a regular job like this, man. Like I would if you told me, hey, your job starts at 9 a.m. and I had to go like even to the city, not even like where I worked now or where I worked previously in the city in the same area. If I had to travel there at like 9 in the morning, even though it's only like 40 minutes away, an express, if the trains are running great in the morning, it's like a half hour. But I still wouldn't want to do it.
Bro, my birthday's coming up on Sunday, so I'm doing a lot of self-reflecting. And I realized that not only has it been like about 14 years since I graduated high school, but I've had over like 55 jobs.
Damn.
And I've done everything. I've driven trucks. I've done like food work. I've done, office work. I've done everything I could possibly do. And my main job was to make sure that one day I would wake up and be on TV every day.
I mean, it's crazy, man. Like, I never thought this would happen, man. I can think. You can say you've done. Now. You say you've done that many jobs, man. I can say I've had one main job where I've been for, the last about that time. I'd say 10, 11 years, maybe 12. I've done other little side security jobs in between. And other little side jobs in between, man. But definitely not close to 55.
Today's one of those special days. You guys might see the blue microphone next to us. We have a in-studio guest. I hope I'm saying your name right. Ayana Maitland? Yes, you are. Ayana Maitland is here with us. We're going to be talking about here it is, Late Haven?
Yes.
Late Haven.
Late Haven.
Or like Danny says, Latte Heaven.
Latte, yes. But,
and even though Danny's not here, he's here with us in spirit.
Yes, Danny's always here in spirit, man. But before we get to all that, man, I told you we have some breaking international news. I mean, it's breaking now, but I see they've been reporting it since about last night. I just wasn't watching the news. That North Korea and South Korea are agreeing to talks and that the U.S. is supposed to be going to have a peace summit, like some sort of a summit, to start talking denuclearization in North Korea. And while originally North Korea, there was reports North Korea would suspend its nuclear and missile testing. There's now like reports I just saw like 15 minutes ago went up saying North Korea saying they won't, but it's only one source saying that, so we don't know what's gonna happen here. But I think after the last few months, maybe the last year, really, about the last year of international relations with them, definitely weren't going good. So this could possibly be a step in the right direction.
And like we said before the show, if this actually happens, not only is it possibly a second term secured, but this is bragging rights for a very long time. This is
legend, like, and not even legend bragging rights, but I mean, how many
Twitter's gonna have to shut down for a few hours.
For a few hours, it might crash for a few days, man. And so a lot of social media platforms, man. But it's just how many presidents have tried. How many presidents have tried to, and it's the first time that even North Korea and South Korea are having these type of talks in more than 10 years. It's like since Kim Jong-il was still alive.
But like I said, and what's your name again? Yours, Simon. Simon and I agreed that we both have to see it to believe it.
Yeah,
it's one
I
of
feel the
those
same
things.
way. I feel the same way. It's one of those things like things can
things.
deteriorate rapidly. We have seen that happen before. But I feel like it's a positive sign. Hopefully, maybe. But I definitely think that if he does it, I think second term is secure, man, without a doubt. I think people should start wrapping their heads around that now, mainly liberals and Democrats. And that's not me saying anything, but I think it's time to start people. It's bipartisan, man. It's two-party system nonsense, man. People need to get their heads out of asses on this two-party system shit.
Not to bring down the mood or change the subject, but did you see the front page of the Daily News today?
Negative, sir.
I saw it. It was a news. They reported about it on Fox 5 News last night. I saw this before.
Oh God, was it the two kids that got hit by the car?
The two kids that got ran over.
I saw about it in the news. I didn't read about it.
So apparently, the lady that was behind the wheel caught a seizure. She caught a seizure at the light. She hit the gas. They was at a red light, and she just plowed through two kids, and I think she killed both of the kids, right? So one of the things that struck me was the fact that how could you prosecute someone who had a seizure?
You can't, man. I think the best they could maybe say is if a doctor, I think they're going to have to go through her medical records and see if a doctor told her she shouldn't be behind the wheel, then she could be. But even then, I think the best they could give her still might be criminally negligent homicide. Like, I don't think you can hit her with murder. I think the best might be.
If she had pills that she had to take, and
if she had medication she was supposed to be taking and was or wasn't, and whether or not a doctor or medical professional told her she shouldn't be operating, a vehicle. Because usually they'll tell people,
it's a messed up story.
That it is. So, I think they're going to have to go through that first before, anything, man. But it's unfortunate, man. I saw that on the news. I didn't read it, but I did see about that yesterday. There's a lot of reports on that I saw. That's crazy. I didn't know that. I just saw like a car, kids got hit by a car. Then, like I said, I didn't read the story. That's crazy, though. That's crazy.
That's the thing. Like, how would you approach that situation? Like, and the lady... they had her in the hospital. She was in the hospital, but she was also under, the police had her, pretty much. So she was under police custody.
Yeah, I think until they have, the evidence of what happened, I think they were going to take her into custody. And I don't think in custody, in the hospital, but in custody. But I've never had that happen to me, so I don't even know how that works. I guess, in the movies, though, you have one hand handcuffed to the bed or something, but I'm pretty sure, they just have restraints that hold you down. It's not like they handcuff you, because that'd be pretty uncomfortable after a while, what I'm saying? Like that. I would think that, but I don't know.
And instead of just saying, the cliche, thoughts and prayers are with the victims' families and stuff like that, I think we need to remind people that if you have medication you should be taking.
Especially for a situation like that.
And you're behind the wheel for any sort of situation, you got to be responsible.
Be responsible. And if you know I know people want to be independent, man, but I think, like I said, a lot of doctors, medical professionals will talk to people about that first. And like I said, it depends on if she was told that, man. But, you want to do video today, or one more thing I want to talk about real fast?
Let's talk. Yeah.
Norris the number 2. Nor'easter number 2 inside of a week.
The second coming.
Is it technically a week yet? Because last week started, Wednesday night and went through Thursday? This one starts tonight and goes to Wednesday. So that's 2 within a week, technically, right?
Yep.
We're still within a week's frame. 2 nor'easters in a week, but this one is predicted to be a lot more snow for us. They're saying 6 to 12 inches is what they're saying. Some places will get more than 12 locally. But for our region, they're saying 6 to 12 inches, man. And that's kind of, I don't know. How you feel about that right now?
Are you working during those days?
I'll be working those evenings, man. It's not terrible. It won't be. I hope it isn't too bad. And really, I'm scheduled to work tonight. It's not supposed to start till later tonight. I'll be home hopefully when it's starting traveling home by the time it's really starting. It's tomorrow when it's supposed to be bad. But it all depends on mass transit, our work schedule.
I just think with how we've been reporting on the weather for the past few years.
Yeah, it's been what now? We've been on air 6 years now.
Yeah, 6 years. So it's like nothing surprises me anymore. We've had tornadoes and hurricanes in the middle of Bushwick. So
we've had blizzard a week after Sandy. So I mean,
who do you trust? Because I can't trust. We spoke about this the other day. I can't trust the Weather Channel.
I mean, I can trust the Weather Channel to get us in the region. Like if they're telling us there's gonna be a nor'easter, I'm guessing like they're right. I'm guessing they're a little right. We have seen them maybe, miscalculations on snow, percentage, snowfall totals before. But, I always say, man, just heat caution. They're telling you, heat caution. What's the harm in that?
And just people need to, and this is something that I did, the day before the expected flood. And I felt stupid doing it because it was like, I should have done this. Stock food, stock water. Don't be the idiot that goes into the supermarket the day before.
The day before.
Thinking that you're going to get everything you need.
The day before, the day after tomorrow.
Like my mom surprised me. My mom has like gallons of water stored away and canned food. And
your mom is a very wise woman, man.
I didn't know she was hip to the game. I thought she's been ignoring me all these years.
No, your mom hasn't been ignoring you, just like my mom hasn't been ignoring me. We don't have that many supplies, but we have like emergency stuff. Like we have the emergency like radio to pick up Coast Guard waves, or like the long wave radios. Like we have like stuff like that. We don't have like the can. I mean, we normally like have canned foods in the house, but we don't have like the stock provisions. Like should something happen like that.
When we reported on Sandy, I was still living on Hart Street.
Yeah.
And Hart Street got flooded. And I felt like an idiot because I didn't have any type of supplies at all. Like I didn't have anything. Not even a towel to like try to soak the water.
I mean, but in the grand scheme of things, what's that towel gonna do?
Yeah, but even like
maybe a ShamWow.
Little things.
If you have a couple of those ShamWows, those infomercial like super towels that just like snap it and it dries off and you put it back.
One of the things that we see on Shark Tank now. They got
one of those super absorbent towels.
All right, so can we check out the video of the day?
Let's check out video of the day, man.
Video of the day. All right, things are changing here, and they're changing rapidly. So while we still have the Reverb Nation campaign going, Reverb Nation will get you featured on the website. So now we're trying to bring all the artists into First Live and build our own community here. So today's video of the day was someone that we featured on the show last week. It was last week. I
want to say, was it Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
I think it was Thursday.
Thursday. Yes, it was Thursday.
It was Thursday. We had Mitchell Leonard come in studio. He previewed the video, and then on Saturday they actually did a broadcast. They broadcasted the video.
They did a Q&A afterwards.
But we never got the whole video on Good Morning Bushwick. So this is Mitchell Leonard and Heisey Who, with the animation, of course. Come downstairs. This is today's video of the day.
Summer's been a long time in passing, and through its vapor trails. I saw a shadow crowd around me, thin lips and twisted nails. And in the distance dawn was cracking, but the light was weak and faint, so far away. I don't think, I don't know, I don't care, I don't mind, I don't feel, I don't feel, I don't hear. I am blind. If you want to be in love again, come see me tonight. Come alone, come afraid. No raindrops beat upon the pavement, no matches struck the time. There was no speech about redemption, no faith was redefined. I thought I heard my mama calling, but her voice was weak and faint, so far away. I don't think, I don't know, I don't care, I don't mind, I don't feel, I don't fear, I don't hear. I am blind. If you're ready to give everything, come see me tonight. Come alone, come afraid, come downstairs. I don't think, I don't know, I don't care, I don't mind, I don't feel, I don't fear, I don't hear. I am blind. If you want to be in love again, come see me tonight. Come alone, come afraid, come downstairs.
Goddamn.
So, what?
Oh, this is. I think this is something
Yeah.
else.
Just like the credits.
Goddamn. Mitchell Leonard and Heisey Who.
Yes, come downstairs. That was your first time seeing the video in its entirety,
In
right?
its entirety, yeah. Because I caught pieces of it during the broadcast, and then it was creepy.
It's deep, man. It was,
Claymation. You saw how the lady went inside the guy?
I'd seen it before.
It's
Seen it all.
fucking crazy.
Actually, you see it for the first time. Yeah, I seen the whole. You'd seen the beginning.
They should have got my expressions looking at that shit. Simon, can we put in a couple drink orders?
Can I get a caramel latte, please, sir?
I'm gonna go classic cappuccino. Can I get 2 spoons of sugar because it helps the medicine go down?
It helps the medicine go down.
Is that from fucking Mary Poppins?
I don't know what it's from, man, but it sounded kind of creepy.
It was
That's
Mary Poppins, right?
I
Just
don't-
a spoon.
I don't think I've-
sugar lets the medicine go down.
I've never
the
seen Mary
medicine go-
Poppins. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. That was
You
one
know
of
what
those
it is. You know
movies
what I'm
I
talking
didn't,
about.
I didn't care to watch.
So we're about to talk about Late Haven. Right after this commercial break, we're gonna bring on Ayana Maitland, and you're the CEO of A Don Dula. Is that how you say it too? And this is gonna be an interesting conversation.
Yes.
We've never had a conversation like this.
No,
I don't
sir.
think on any show.
No.
So
So we'll be back with you guys right after this quick commercial break.
this coffee is delicious.
You know, I don't really drink coffee. This is what you come out with. This coffee is an empty cup. That's what you come out the gate with on me, man.
I mean, it is coffee for music people. And
Music for coffee people.
A good coffee will wake you the fuck up in the morning. Remember,
You know what else will wake you up in the morning? Good Morning Bushwick, hosted by us two, Bud and Roach.
Roach.
I mean, here at First Live.
Where is First Live?
Bushwick, baby. You're
Take-
killing me, bro. You're killing me right now. Like
Where
First
are we
Live
from?
Bushwick. We're from Bushwick. We are Bushwick.
Pick up your damn cup and pretend you're drinking the coffee.
Here
Do
at
it
First
again.
Live
No,
Bushwick.
Do it again. Do it again.
You know what else will wake you up in the morning? Good Morning Bushwick.
Good morning.
Right now, we cutting a promo or we live?
No. Where can people go to find out what's happening in Bushwick?
BudandRoach.com and
And-
FirstLive.us.
This coffee is delicious.
Yes, it most certainly is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back.
And we're live.
Good morning, Bushwick, with Ayana Maitland.
Correct.
And we met. Let me move my chair just to face you a little bit. We met last week.
On what? On Friday?
It was Friday. So explain to the viewers what Late Haven is.
So the Late Haven Initiative is something I started in response to the continuing stories of women being harassed and basically abused in public when they're trying to breastfeed.
I'm just gonna fix your
It's
your
fine.
mic a little closer to you.
So, we'll just put some fodder here real fast while we do this. This is what I'm here for.
Better?
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Maddie came for the
Maddie to the
save.
rescue once again.
Maddie, by the way.
Hi.
Let's get a live hand clap for Maddie again.
Live hand clap.
Live hand clap for Maddie again.
And basically, I wanted to reach out to local businesses because there's nothing that they can do about the behavior of their patrons. They can't prevent people from harassing other people, but we can all stand up and say, this is not tolerable, this is not accepted in my space. And especially for small businesses, coffee shops, you have that power to say you can't be a jerk in my business. We have the problem of, the female form is still far too commodified, far too sexualized, and something that is as natural and basically as necessary as breastfeeding, especially in the modern world. Living in cities, we need the immunity and the other benefits conferred by breastfeeding in order to continue our species. So we can't attack women for doing what is natural and what is right in a public space.
Yeah. I mean, when Danny told me what you were doing before you came on, when we were talking about it yesterday, he told me what it was about, man. And doing security, working for the corporation I used to work for, that was a big no-no, man. If we had someone in the restaurant breastfeeding, man, they were allowed. Like, we couldn't, like, people would be like, there would be people like, she's over there breastfeeding. It's like, what the fuck do you want me to do?
Exactly.
Like,
You're
I mean-
also eating.
Like, I mean, she's got the, and then
It is a
people,
restaurant.
Yeah.
like, women go out of their way, like, a lot of women have towels, little drapes, then they snap something, and it's like,
There's special dresses.
Yes. and like, for people to still, like, it's like, come on, man, now you are being an asshole right now. If anyone in this room wanted to pick an asshole out, it's you right now.
Yeah.
So is it more the fact that it's being done in public or the fact that it's being done, period?
I think that it's being done in public. People still, like I said, they see the breast as a sexual organ when it's not at all. That's not its purpose. We all have breasts, both male and female.
Yes.
We all have nipples. The size difference
have A
is
cups.
functional. You have what?
A cups.
I don't know what I'd be rocking, man.
You
but,
know, the size difference is functional, and that function is for feeding children. And there's no other part of the human body that a person would be derided for using for its function.
no, absolutely not. And I mean, I think it's crazy, man. Because I mean, I have seen it. Have you ever witnessed it in public? Like, people get offended by it?
I haven't witnessed people get offended by it in person. I've seen videos of people like making a big fucking deal about it, and I'm like, I don't see the big deal about it. especially if it's at a restaurant, people are eating there anyways.
Exactly.
So it's like, what do you want the baby to eat? The baby can't eat the steak.
Yeah, the baby can't chow down on medium rare over there, man.
And are those pumps healthy? Like when you pump?
Pumping is healthy, but it's painful. And I think any woman who is pumped will tell you that it is more painful to pump than it is to feed naturally. And it's kind of a necessary evil to pump, especially if you're a working mother. You have to leave milk behind. If you ever want to have alcohol, a lot of women, pre-pump so that they have a store, and then they do it's called a pump and dump. And test.
Pump and dump.
Yes.
Yeah,
you
there's
go
like
out, you
strips.
drink, and then the next few days you pump your milk and you test it to see if there's still alcohol in it.
There's
And
vodka.
yeah. And
You don't want the baby having a White Russian.
Right. Basically. And you throw it away if there's still alcohol in it, because that's the whole thing is we do live in modern times, and women should be allowed the flexibility that comes from living in a modern world. We don't have to be tied into, this binary motherhood where you're basically locked away, taking care of this child for the first year of its life.
Yes, and one thing we spoke about previously.
Thank you, Simon.
Sir. And one thing we previously spoken about on the Monday Night Show, man, is how like when there's legislation written
Cheers,
in this
everyone.
country. Cheers.
Yeah,
Black coffee.
Let's get a nice toast.
Boom. Let's get it all around the house.
Look at that.
Bang.
The Oreo effect. That's fine craftsmanship.
Yes, sir.
Here, First Live, 219 Central Avenue. Of course, you just go to Good Morning Bushwick. We have directions on the site.
Yes. Have
I
nice-
actually got turned around, even though I live 3 blocks away,
turned around.
because I for some reason I put 219 Evergreen,
Ah.
and I was like, no, this isn't
This
right.
doesn't
That's
feel
going to
right.
take you to the long side.
It doesn't feel right.
So, last week you was walking from business to business.
Yes.
We were receptive to it. We brought you on the show. What was the reaction from the other places?
To this point, I haven't had anyone say to me, this isn't something we care about and we don't want to participate. And
That's awesome.
yeah.
I'm glad that people understand it and get the get the notion behind it, man, because it shouldn't be something
haven.
that's scrutinized the way I've witnessed it, the way people do make it seem, man. And there are people who definitely don't want to use formulas, man. Some of these formulas make kids sick.
They cause colic, and a lot of other digestive problems, allergies later on in life, even asthma.
Yeah, my sister just had a baby and they had to switch the formula she was using because it was making her sick. Like at a month old, she couldn't keep it down and she kept throwing it up. They had to like switch it to something. I don't know the technicalities behind it, but they had to switch it.
It's crazy how corporations try to dictate what to feed your baby.
Well, that is
The fuck?
actually one of the biggest things in breastfeeding. So in the United States in the early 1900s, there was actually a campaign against breastfeeding that was led by Nestle.
Wait. Nestle led a campaign against
Nestle Quick?
breastfeeding. Breastfeeding was vilified. It was made to seem as though, only the poor breastfeed because you can't afford the quality formula that is being, and so if you look, you can look it up on the internet. There, these old black and white posters of like women dressed in rags in tenement homes breastfeeding their children and comparing breastfeeding basically to poverty.
That's crazy.
And so they showed a lot of women of color when it came to these ads, and it's taken us basically a century to try and dial that back. And if you go to Latin America, if you go to the Caribbean, a lot of people still have these beliefs because this is, the effect of good advertisement.
This is what propaganda can do. I mean,
Look at this. Outrage started in the 1970s when Nestle was accused of getting third world mothers hooked on formula, which is less healthy and more expensive than breast milk. So they were basically putting things in this formula that...
Well, I mean, formula has come a long way, but in the early days it was basically, just milk proteins and if you were lucky, some vitamins and some sugar that you added water to. So it never had the, kind of complex nutrition that breast milk does. And the one thing that breast milk gives you that no formula will ever give you is immunity. Babies are born without immune systems because they have not been exposed to anything. You only get immunity through exposure. The mother, when she's breastfeeding, actually gives the baby her antibodies through the breast milk. And that provides protection against, germs, bacteria, viruses, whatever the mother's been exposed to, whatever she's been vaccinated against, the baby gets temporary immunity, which is why, a breastfed baby can go out in public without the fear of, contracting something and dying.
Especially today, man. All these flus, every year
The
having a new flu.
Everybody has flu
and
now.
with so many people being afraid of vaccines, like a lot of people don't want the
Very
flu.
afraid.
Yes.
We're gonna inject you with this disease so that you
We're
can
gonna give you
you can
just
fight
enough
off
of
this
it to fight
disease.
it off. All right?
Like what?
But I mean, I don't know if you've seen, they did a wonderful handprint that was making the rounds on Twitter of an 8-year-old.
On the bread.
It was on a actual petri dish. And so they sent a kid outside to play for like half an hour, and then they did a print of his hand, and you could see all the different bacterial colonies, and it was the whole hand. Like there was no part of the hand that you couldn't see. Every single inch of his hand was covered in bacteria.
I didn't see that. I saw one. It was in school to show the hand washing. It was a clean like a sandwich that was handled by someone who washed their hands. The sandwich handled by someone who didn't, and you saw just the germs that were on the mold and stuff on the one that was handled by someone who didn't wash their hands, and that was to me stood out. That was crazy when I saw that.
I mean, the world is a filthy place,
Very filthy.
and there's nothing you can do about it.
No.
You know what's
So-
not filthy though?
What?
Is the handcrafted beverages here at First Live, 219 Central Avenue, of course in Bushwick. Let's talk about Ayana.
Yes.
So you said that you provide birthing services,
Labor support.
labor support. Run us through this. This is your website right here, right?
Yes, it is. So basically, my website, I try to make it as educational as possible. I believe that, information should be out there. It should be easily processed. So if you notice, there's a whole section of my website that gets into the very nitty-gritty technicalities of the modern birthing process. And
Stages of labor.
yes. Yeah, it's all on there.
Well, you know what? If you're on the website, of course, is adondula.com, exactly as it's spelled on the screen. You gotta join the list. Let's do this live on the air. Boom. See that?
Thank you. So, what I do is I try and
so
help.
every birth starts with an Oreo cookie.
Every birth starts with the penny.
The penny.
That is the normal size of the opening of a woman's cervix.
Jesus.
It's super small. And by the time you are ready to give birth, it reaches the bagel.
When does it start becoming a penny?
So that's the size of the opening of your cervix, and that's during pregnancy,
All the time.
throughout pregnancy. And
But when you go into the hospital,
so when you go to the hospital, let me see, is the Oreo. You should be at Oreo
so it's
stage
like
by the
this.
time you get to the hospital.
I'm trying to visualize this shit, and it's fucking disturbing me. Bro.
Don't.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
I'll just go ahead and say to you, need to cross that bridge. Don't. but go
Like
by
it's-
all means. Go ahead. Let the people get your reactions on it. They missed them during the Mitchell Leonard video, so go ahead, man. Keep asking questions, man. I learned to just pay attention in health class.
Yeah.
All right. So this is pretty much just what to expect.
Basically. And it's, you are usually better prepared to handle something if you know what's happening. But what doulas do is we provide a very traditional function of emotional support, physical support. We provide natural pain relief.
When you say natural pain relief, what that mean? Like acupuncture or something? Or
No, you would have no,
That
also not.
Here's a blunt. This will relax you.
Acupressure, massage. The biggest one is actually movement and rhythm. If you can get on your feet while you're in labor, and
People can get on their feet.
absolutely, the concept of giving birth lying down, once again, is a fairly recent one, which has led to a higher,
Mortality
rate for mothers, because
Damn.
it's not a natural position to give birth in.
That's crazy.
So it's just like let gravity do it for
Let
you.
gravity do it. Put your body in the right positions. Listen to your body. If something hurts, it's just like anything else in life. If something is truly painful, you probably should not be doing it. And if lying down to give birth is causing you excruciating pain where you turn into some, cartoon movie demon, then maybe you should get up.
Cartoon movie demon.
You know?
That is true, man. I've heard stories, man. I mean,
Like, holy shit. So if businesses want to get involved with Late Haven,
You can go on the website, and there is a form to sign up, and I will
sign up to be Late
and I
Haven.
will send you out a digital Late Haven logo that you can print out. And there is a little credo that I have there that is basically what is in the pink.
The pink is the credo.
Yes.
By signing this business or organization pledges to be a safe place for women who want to breastfeed. We acknowledge that breastfeeding is not only natural, but the healthiest way to feed a child. We also acknowledge that the prejudice women face while trying to breastfeed is a part of an ongoing history of cultural and sexual oppression that we do not want to help perpetuate. We offer not only the space for women to breastfeed, but pledge also to defend them within this space for those who attempt harass or abuse them. We stand with women because we stand with humanity. I don't read things that fluently often, and I'm proud of myself right now.
Yeah, you
And
definitely went through
butcher
that.
that
you did a
shit
good
now
job
one
of
time,
glossing
bro.
over my typos, which I will correct later.
Woo!
They say they say if you know what the word's like supposed to be, the typo won't really mess you up.
Yeah.
Like if you just a bit.
I got it though. And of course, participating establishments, you see your boys. First Live Coffee House, 219
Oh.
Central Avenue.
You know it.
Woo! You see that? I didn't even see that until right now.
But I think that this is a real big thing, man. I think that women shouldn't be demonized. But I mean, even if we go back to it, like I said, how does it happen that when in this nation, whenever there's like really laws for women's rights, women's health, or anything, there aren't really many women in the room? Like, I don't get it. That's one thing that's always disturbed me. Like that you basically have grown men deciding everything for.
Well, we still don't have enough women in politics, and we don't have enough women who are truly being activists for themselves. And I think a big part of that is still the abuse that women receive whenever we try and do anything, because perhaps in a man's political campaign, his mistresses will come out and things like that, but when a woman is running for an office or her style of dress, her demeanor, her makeup, her posture, the shoes she chooses to wear, the size of her ankles, those all become factors for her to be attacked. And most of us are going through so much already that opening yourself up for a further attack isn't something that we really want to do. And you know that as a woman, every single mistake you've made in your life, someone will find it, dredge it up, and use it against you. And this is why I'm starting to do things like this, because first of all, I feel as though we do help perpetuate that by being so afraid of the judgment. I don't know if you guys spoke on like the whole Black China thing that happened a couple.
We spoke about that on our other show.
Yeah.
But
but-
got out of hand fast.
Well, I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but if you look at how she was treated and the criticisms and judgments that were made against her were ridiculous. People were, commenting on her skill in the act. Like, who cares?
That was my argument. And for people who said it was released on purpose, it's like if that was the goal, has it not been achieved? Because everyone's talking about it for absolutely no reason.
And that's the thing. It should just be something like this is a part of normal, healthy sexuality. I'm sorry. I know very few people who can say that they haven't been in their own situations. And if you can, I don't think that that makes you better than anybody else. And it doesn't make a woman less than for being a sexual being, for having had those experiences, or for moving on in life. Because you can make a commitment to someone. It doesn't work out, you move on. You move on to the next one. It's what we all have to do.
I think a lot of I'll agree with you on that, man. I think a lot of, I'll say, just guys in general have a hard time accepting like the L, like just taking the L and moving on. A lot of guys can't take that a woman like doesn't want you anymore, man. Because a lot of guys, this is something I tell a lot of my friends, man. It's like, why would you keep playing with her emotions? Like, do you really think that that's gonna end well? Like.
No, and then she sets your car on fire.
Set your car on fire. She stabs you. Like I've had an unnamed friend. I'm not gonna name any names.
Key's asshole on the
Who's
side of the car.
who's woken up to a woman next to him, and she was looking at him, and he joked with her, and she told him, "I was thinking about stabbing you in the eye."
I might know this friend. We'll talk about this afterward.
I think we all know this friend. We all have one friend who almost got stabbed in the eye.
But
In
I
their
mean,
sleep.
everyone has a breaking point, and I do feel as though we should stop manipulating one another so much, period. We should all learn to be more open and more honest about who we really are. And if we live in a world where we all stand in our truth, yeah, things are going to be messy for a while, but we'll get used to it.
You'll get used to it.
So let's talk about this birthing center because it's featured on the website.
Yes.
I've never even heard of anything like this.
So there are 2 standalone birthing centers in New York City that are licensed by the Department of Health to function as, standalone birthing centers apart from a hospital. There's no hospital system there. The birthing center is made to give you more of an at-home experience, but without as much of the risk of staying at home, because people are delivering at home again. But then the problem is, even here, we're right by Wyckoff, but in the 10 minutes that it takes to get from your house to the hospital and get checked in, if your baby's in distress, you can lose your baby.
Mm-hmm.
But birthing centers provide a little bit more. They have the ability to monitor. They have more equipment. There is, usually a licensed physician on staff, or if not, they're physically who can be there within, 2 or 3 minutes. The people are better trained. So there are 2 of them. One is on Ocean Avenue in Brooklyn, and this is the other one that I'm affiliated with, which is run by a wonderful doctor named Dr. Lisa Ng. And this one is out in
3rd Avenue?
Yes, in the Bay Ridge area. And it is a facility that has birthing tubs. It has a very nice, clean, home-like environment that you can go deliver in and then go home with your baby, with your healthy, happy baby.
This is interesting. I've never seen something like this.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's a community of moms out there, man.
This
I
is
mean,
the doctor
people
right
that-
here, right?
Yes.
Doctors and midwives.
Yes.
So do they operate through insurance? Like if someone wants to...
Most insurances sadly do not cover birthing centers. They do tend to reimburse for doulas, so I'm lucky in that. But our medical model in this country is far
broken.
behind. It's just behind, like many other things. It's because everything is so intertwined with commerce in this country.
Everything in this country is for profit.
Yeah. So it's not for health, it's for profit.
It's health for
Exactly.
profit,
Yeah.
but
That's
for
crazy.
profit first. In my mind, it's always felt like that. I don't know how anyone else feels, but I've always felt like this country's medical system is definitely for profit first, not to get you healthy. It's to get you healthy enough to keep paying.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Keep the wheels spinning. It's like that fucking thing from, what is it, Price is Right?
Oh, yeah.
Every time you go in there, they're just going to swing that shit around one more time.
Yeah, and it's,
We're gonna roll the dice on you. See how fast we can get you down, man. We're gonna see. Nope. You're gonna have to come back in a couple weeks. It's usually how it
Sad,
goes,
bro.
man. It is, man. It's ridiculously sad. This medical industry in this country just blows my mind.
Not to bring up personal things, but my sister right now, she's in a coma. So last Monday, everybody went to the hospital. He came with me. And they told my family that she was going to die in a few hours. And then the rest of the week, that doctor completely was avoiding looking at it because she's getting better. They wanted to put her in a hospice room and have everyone say goodbye. And everybody started freaking out. Like,
And how old is your sister?
She's probably like 49 years old, maybe.
Angie's 49?
I think so.
Angie can't be 49.
Yeah.
49?
My mom had her when she was like 14, and my mom is like 64 now.
Your mom is 60. Your mom can't be 64.
Yeah, bro.
Jesus. I didn't know you.
Estamos viejo ya.
Your mom, first thing I'm going to say is your mom and Angie both look ridiculously young because I didn't know they were.
Yeah, we got good genes. I still get ID for cigarettes. I'm pushing 32.
You, on the other hand, buddy, I'm not going to compliment, but your mom and sister.
Well, you give everybody else a compliment but me, bro.
I'm just saying, they look, I thought your mom was close to my mom's age.
I can't ever trust a doctor again. I can't. I would rather.
I have a strong
birthing center.
distrust for
To be honest,
doctors.
I'm actually a doctor.
You're a doctor, licensed doctor?
I am not licensed in this country, but I did complete medical school.
Don't work at Beth Israel.
I did it in Cuba.
You completed, wait, how long was, so lean back. How long was medical school in Cuba?
The Cuban program is 6 years.
6 years?
I was there for 7 because I didn't speak Spanish when I got there, so I had
Took
to
a
learn.
year to
What's your
learn
nationality?
I mean, I was born here. I was born in our illustrious Woodhull Hospital.
You know what? I have bad things to say about Woodhull.
That's why I always say it's actually a badge of honor to have been born there and not contracted an infection.
You made it.
It's like, yes, I'm one of the strong.
We unfortunately just had if you saw Daily News last week,
I did with the little girl, and that was with the strep
best friend's
throat.
daughter.
It was.
She
My
lived
condolences.
two houses over. It was fucking terrible.
And that's the other thing too is, we need more patient advocates in the system because especially for people of color, we can't speak up. We will be escorted out by security.
Yeah. When we speak up, we're violent.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people like I'm not mad right now. Like I'm trying my best not to raise my voice. And I think when I tell people that, and like they can see it in my face, like they realize, and I tell them like, you don't want me to go to that point. So
and I'm one of those
let's try to resolve this amicably.
I'll break down in tears, and those are angry tears.
Yeah.
Like if you see the tears coming,
you
should
that's
say
me. If I get to angry tears, all bets are off. Someone's gonna get hurt.
Exactly.
Like if I reach angry tears.
But so when I did work I worked at Wyckoff for a few years, and there was a patient experience navigator program that ran there for a short time. And that was one of our jobs, was to advocate for our patients. But even with an advocate there, it's so hard to receive proper care unless there's someone who's going to stand there 24/7 and call your doctor out. And a big part of the problem with our medical system is liability, that doctors are more interested in not that they're more interested, that's not right. They have to be more concerned with the legalities of what they're doing as opposed to trying to treat and heal people.
Yeah.
I love the way you politically corrected that.
Because there are very few people who actually
PC
get
culture.
into medicine. No, it's not PC culture. There are very few people who get into medicine only for the money, for avarice and for greed, because it doesn't make sense.
And the amount of money that doctors make.
It's not that much.
It takes
really
a while
isn't.
to get to that, and then you have to be like in private practice
and
to make
you
that money.
acquire so much debt and so much
Medical
emotional
school,
baggage
like,
too along the way. Even in this country, it's 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, and then depending on your specialty, anywhere from 3 to 5 years of additional training, 8 in the case of like a lot of surgeons. And so even if you're, a whiz kid, you're leaving the system in your 30s with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt. Medicine does not have the prestige that it used to. It's not like people are going to let you board the plane first because you're a doctor, and you're not going to make that much money. Most residencies pay you anywhere from $35,000 to $50,000 a year, which does not begin to cover
Not
the debt.
in this city. Jesus Christ, not in it.
No.
Living
You
expenses.
said
if you live in
private
New York.
practices make more money. So
Private practices make more money, but they make that money by sacrificing patient care, because you have to see, in upwards of 20 patients in a workday in order to break even most of the time because of the way the health insurance companies pay out. And so unless you don't accept insurance, which then marginalizes another segment of the population, you can't make that money back. So the only people really profiting as doctors, are the celebrity doctors, plastic surgeons, dermatologists, people who do things with very little liability and high profit margins. But the, primary care physicians, family physicians, the OBGYN is disappearing in the United States. And that's why midwifery has, started to come back up, because so many doctors don't want to take on the liability of delivering babies.
That's crazy.
They do their training, but then they only practice the GYN portion because there's just so much liability. If anything happens to that mother, to that child, you can be on the hook for millions upon millions of dollars.
That's crazy.
And the liability insurance is, basically half of what you're making every year. So that's why you see the care bubble keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
there's a lyric that says, "What will grow crooked, you can't make straight." And I think that applies to the medical industry. I think it's been so corrupted for so long that it's just like, I know that there's good doctors out there, just like there's good cops, but the fucking system is so trash.
The system
it's so trash.
It's not. I don't want to say the system's like indicative of the people within it.
It's not.
But it's a broken system in this country. I mean, the medical system's broken in my mind, man.
This country is incredibly good at crushing rebellion.
Yes. At crushing peaceful
especially
protest.
now with
Peaceful
social media.
protest,
And
yes.
we crush rebellion starting in kindergarten. We indoctrinate. That's
Yes.
what we do. We don't even let you form opinions that differ.
A kid daydreaming has ADD. A kid being a kid that's bouncing off the walls has a bit more energy than others, has ADHD. Kids in my mind it's something for something, when before it was that's just a kid being a kid.
And kids are supposed to have energy.
Yes, kids are supposed to be balls of energy. Their heart rates are ridiculous. How fast their hearts beat. It's kids.
And kids shouldn't be numbed by medication.
No.
Nor should adults.
No.
For that matter.
No,
unless that's your thing.
I think that should be the absolute last choice, not the first, the go-to. I think there should be other avenues before. That should be the absolute last option, is to medicate someone, not the first.
I mean, basically, for me, what I feel, and that's why being a doula is important to me, is we've lost the tribe. And whether we want to believe it or not, human beings were pack animals.
Yeah.
Solitude kills people.
It does. And in a city like this, we have 8 million people who are all lonely. We're not reaching out. We're not connecting with one another. We're not being truthful and honest. So we're presenting, shells to one another when there's so much hurt and pain going on the inside. And if we would just express it, even if just little bursts, we could connect with one another. And so it's not up on my website right now, but I just started another program called Mommy Mentors for women who find themselves in that situation where they're first-time mothers. And I explained it, even though I'm a doula and I'm obsessed with birth and all of these things, I can't really relate with my friends who do have children because I don't. And sometimes you don't want to hear about another baby toy or another whatever. But those women need to connect to someone who does want to hear about it, who can give them feedback. And it's actually really hard to meet up with people like that in the city.
I think I was talking to my mom. My mom just asked my sister, and my sister's okay. I just wanted to check about, if she was feeling anything about postpartum. I think that might be a reason a lot of women have postpartum depression is they're not connecting with anyone. You're just with yes, you're a child, but a child who can't really interact. You're just caring for it, can't really talk to you. You're not interacting with another person. That can start to wear on the person's psyche. You can see it can get bad in a lot of cases.
And it gets bad quickly,
Yes.
and that's the thing. But it gets bad once again because we're repressing. Because instead of being able to just say, you know what, I'm feeling terrible, can someone watch this kid for me for a little bit while I regenerate as a human being? Because postpartum is natural; it's part of the process. Your hormones shift so quickly. There's basically no way that you're not going to feel depressed for a while afterwards. Breastfeeding does help with the depression, by the way. But
Another
Tips and
benefit-
tricks.
Another benefit of breastfeeding.
but I mean, there's a reason why therapy works. And most of us can't afford therapy, especially in this neighborhood, especially in this city where, once again, therapists don't take insurance.
I was lucky. I did therapy for about 2 years after my grandmother passed. I had a horrible time dealing with it. And I was lucky that, at first I went through my mom's job. They had a family program. And I asked the doctor, what insurance could I get to, stay, keep the sessions going after her job stopped paying. And he told me exactly what kind of insurance I needed. I went, got some Obamacare because, I was technically an independent contractor, so I qualified. And, he took it and paid for it in the city, man. And I tell people all the time, I'm not ashamed to admit it. At first, I was telling people I was, dealing with going to anger management classes. I didn't want to say I was in therapy, dealing with depression
Yeah.
and anxiety. But
depression and anxiety manifest as anger so
Yeah.
often.
yeah, so, I'm not quite, that's why.
You have calmed down a lot.
I tell people you're one of the few people who've known me long enough in my life, including my family, aside from my family, one of the few people who've known me long enough in my life to even when I do go now, you still do tell me, you're you're going, but I'm not wilding, man. I'm not wilding.
He was known for breaking video game controllers.
Yo, why do you have to bring this up? Yo, this is
But that's what old friends and family are for, is to bring up the parts that you're embarrassed about.
Nah, because he pushed this on.
You probably owe him some controllers.
I never
That's
broke
what
any controller. I only broke my own.
He only broke his own, but
They were already usually it was usually me finishing the job. It was already broken. It didn't work properly during the game. And instead of just putting it down lightly, I would take my anger out on the controller. There was one time, I'll tell you,
controllers.
one time, I was playing my brother in something on the original Xbox, and I lost at the buzzer. We were playing, I want to say basketball. I lost at the final buzzer.
even worse when he
And I
plays
was so upset, and I just took the controller and I was sitting like the child sitting on was low to the floor, and I just leaned down and with it in one hand I just kept slammed it on the floor and shattered it.
And that's there was a controller graveyard in his room because you still have most of the broken controllers.
No, I told you those controllers aren't broken. They just need to be looked at.
Oh,
They're
okay.
just old.
They just
been
need
sitting there
they
too
just
long.
need operation
All
work.
those controllers are old. Those aren't I told you. Those are controllers I paid for with my own money, and they cost too much to break.
So Ayana, if people want to find you, if people want to get involved with Late Haven, where do they go?
The best and easiest way is to go to my website at adondula.com. You can also contact me very easily via email, also at adondula@gmail.com. And those are basically the two best ways to contact me.
And that's a.dondula@gmail.com, right?
It is. The dot in Gmail actually does
It
nothing.
doesn't.
No.
You serious?
Yeah,
For real?
little known secret.
I had no
Holy
idea.
shit.
So I have an email that's all it's Alonzo.Taylor.
Yeah, no one needs to put
those
any of the
dots don't
dots
matter?
in. Mm-mm.
I had no idea.
They're
been
there
using
for
Gmail
style.
like 10
What about
years.
underscores? Do underscores matter?
Underscores do matter.
Cool.
Oh my God.
Underscores is where it's at anyway.
So again, the website is adondula. Can we get a shot just so that people could see the little www dot that's highlighted on top? This is how it's spelled out. Of course, at gmail.com, the dot doesn't do anything apparently. So it's
We learned something.
I'm sorry to
We
shatter
literally
your
learn something
illusions.
new every day.
Damn it.
Damn.
That's crazy.
I never knew that. Now I just feel like a jerk all the times I used it. I thought it was
Yeah,
I
mean,
was
I did
super
for a long time
exclusive,
too.
like-
I told people,
yeah,
I was
I
like,
thought
don't
I was
forget
cool
the
enough
dot.
to separate it. And now I just feel like a jerk off.
Yeah, me too.
Damn.
And I actually was preaching to people, you should put dots in there just so it could separate it.
Yeah.
I mean,
just-
it looks better. It does.
It looks better, and it's one thing I'm glad people have matured to the point where they stop using those crazy early 2000s, late 90s email names, man. 'Cause Have you ever like been at a job like interviewing, like had them read off emails and see like heard people's emails?
Well, I mean, you should have a decent email for work purposes. That's, I mean, if there's a tip you can give anyone who's going out to find a job, like don't be like blunt smoker 397 when you're trying to get a job.
Don't be
I made that mistake a few times.
exotic cutie on the dance floor.
I remember in high school I had buff Boricua 44.
Yeah, that,
Nah,
I
I think
mean,
my
that was on
craziest
my resume.
that
was,
might get you like, go-go dancer, bouncer.
Oh, of course,
you
yeah.
know.
I wasn't even buff, so it was false advertising. It was just.
Oh
I don't
man.
know why I did that, but
Yeah, I think what was mine in high school was our main event, 858.
I remember. But
That
that
was
one
for
actually made
basketball.
sense because
Yeah,
it was
for
from
N1.
From N1. So where can the people follow you?
You can follow me at Mr_Zoe_Taylor on Instagram. Don't worry, people. One day you're gonna have to spell it, man. I'm gonna make a burner account, and you're gonna have to spell it all out.
You can follow us both at Bud and Roach Show. Of course, you can follow me at I'm King Roach. Follow First Live at First Live US.
And of course, if you're in the neighborhood, you need to stop in and grab one of these fine caffeinated beverages, hot or cold. And beer o'clock starts when you want, man. So come grab one of these
About to start right now.
Especially
crafted
Bushwick.
beverages or one of these fantastic beers. And of course, if you need any production services, of course, reach out at firstlivus.com. And
It's actually firstlive.us.
Firstlive.us. I said it backwards. Wow. I felt like I was saying it wrong. Glad you corrected me. Firstlive.us. I know I was saying it wrong. Firstlive.us.
And
Reach out,
goodmorningbushwick.com.
Yes, sir.
Soon we're going to transfer that domain over.
Yes.
Make firstlive.us the primary domain.
Yes, sir.
So we want to thank Ayana for coming on
Thank
with
you
us.
for having me.
Handshake, hand clap.
Thank you. Coming on.
Let's do a nice little hand clap. It was a-
Nice live on air.
we had a late haven conversation today. Let's see what the world will give us tomorrow. We'll be
Yes.
back same time.
Same place tomorrow,
10
guys.
a.m. Eastern time.
Yes.
Goodmorningbushwick.com.
Have a fantastic day, guys.
The realness, realness. Got you stuck on the realness, realness.